Welcome back to Dreamin' Dragons. In one of our earlier videos, we collected our seeds, we've whacked them in some containers, and the journey has begun towards making our own little hybrids. Check out the link in the description to access those bad boys. Now let the magic begin. We've had our container of seeds on their heat mat with a clear lid covered in damp soil. 6 days in, let's take a look. We have liftoff. A few dozen seedlings have poked their noses through the soil. Once I see a good few seedlings, the next morning I move them to a spot with more natural light. In my case, under the veranda, but you could put them under window with indirect sun. That evening, I open the lid 25% of the way and begin conditioning them to life outside of their humid little bubble. And then I put them back on the heat mat overnight. Next morning, out on the veranda again. That evening, open up the lid to 50% and back on the heat mat. You'll notice your soil starts drying out quickly, so a solid spritz with some water is a must. Same again, on the veranda in the morning, 75% open at night, as we put them on the heat mat and give them a good spray again. Onto the veranda again, but this time when we bring them in at night, we take the lid off completely. By this stage, they'll be acclimatized to life outside their bubble. Now that the lid has been completely removed, you'll find the soil dries out much quicker. So when I bring them out the next morning, I place them in another container with a small amount of water in the bottom. This helps the soil remain damp. At this stage, I no longer place them back on the heat mat of an evening. Here's our little pups at the 2-week mark. As you can see, they've really started to thicken up. You can start introducing them to a bit of direct sunlight at this stage. Factor in weather conditions before you expose them to the elements. If it's boiling hot or freezing cold, you'll be setting them up for a bit of failure. And here they are at the 3-week mark. By this stage, you can start to see the little cacti bristles poking through the middle. If you're time poor, you don't need to play musical chairs with the seeds. You can just leave them in a warm, indirectly lit location and you'll get growth. Troubleshooting time. My seeds are long and thin below the leaves. This is called etiolation. Good chance you haven't introduced your seedlings to the light early enough. They'll grow long and thin in search of light. If your seeds are giving off Jack and the Beanstalk vibes, that's alright. They will get a bit flimsy as the weight of the cactus develops on top, so might need a little bit of support, but it's far from a write-off. My seeds haven't germinated. A couple of things here. Were they planted too deeply? Was the soil damp? Was the soil too damp? In a previous video, Kevin commented suggesting soaking in hydrogen peroxide for a day or so, as this helps to soften the seed shell and enhance germination. A quick Google search seems legit. I never use all my seeds in one go as a safety blanket in case something like this goes wrong. There seems to be taking forever to grow any height, length, and girth. Might need more sunlight or space to grow. Also, a cheeky hack, which I'll cover in a coming video, is grafting our little seedlings to rapidly ramp up their development, so stay tuned. Would love to hear if you guys have found a faster way of getting your babies up and growing. Leave your tips in the comments below. And also, just like the seeds in this video, come grow with us. Hit that like and subscribe button. It does wonders to help support my channel and will help you stay up to date with all the dragon fruity goodness we have going on here. Cheers guys.